Hey, and it is week 14, which is the last full week of the semester. Next week, Monday, is technically a class day, but because everybody's meeting on different days of the week, we're just not going to have any class time on Monday. I'm still available during class times in my virtual office if you need me on Monday, but there's no class to attend from here on out. All you're going to be doing is working on turning in any work that you're missing, revising your papers, and working on your final reflection essay. So there's not actually any work due this weekend except for completing the learning module quiz at the end of this learning module. That's all you have to turn in this week. Anything else, you can be turning in missing work. You can be turning in revised essays, but there's nothing else that's due technically this week. Nothing else is due until final exam day, and that is when everything for the class becomes a final grade. So any revisions you're going to be turning in need to be turned in by our final exam time. It'll be listed in Blackboard really clearly where that is, what day and what time. There is no final exam. That's just the deadline for everything for the class. If you're turning in missing work, it's due by then. If you're turning in revised essays, they are due by then. And then you should be turning in your final reflection essay. It is due by then. So as you're revising, you can either turn things back into me and get new comments. The deadline for turning in any revised essays for new comments is going to be this Friday by the end of your class time, whether that is noon or 3, depends on which section you're in. That's when everything for this class, if you want to revise it for new comments, essays, is due. And so then over the weekend, if you turn in anything by then, I'll be getting it back to you with new comments and a new grade. You can still change things even after then, between then and whatever our final exam time is. You can still make changes and still turn something in. You can also make changes and not turn them in by Friday and still turn in a new version of your essays by that deadline. I still regrade anything new, anything revised that you turn in by that deadline. But just remember, if you want new comments before final exam day, it needs to be turned in by Friday. You can still change things and still turn in something new, but after that deadline, it just sits there till final exam day or whenever I get a chance to look at it. Do take advantage if you have questions of in-person office hours on Wednesday and Friday this week. Also virtual office hours Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday, and then next Monday there will be virtual office hours as well. You can also ask questions by email. That's always fine. But if you need to have a back and forth conversation, like if you're not sure what something was, you remember vaguely what we were doing back in September, but you're not really sure, and you want to double check what an assignment was about, just let me know. And one final thing before I wrap this up is just sort of be smart about how you spend your time for this class. Concentrate on the things that count more. So your essays, each one individually counts either 10 or 15% of your grade. All of those Blackboard assignments together are just one chunk of your grade. So if you're missing some Blackboard assignments and missing an essay, work on the essay first. And then go back and worry about the Blackboard assignments, because that essay is going to count more. When you're choosing what to revise, probably spend your time on an essay that's like a B or a C instead of the one that's at an A- and trying to work it up to an A, because that little bit of a boost isn't going to make much difference in your overall grade in the class, but revising something from a C to a B makes a really big difference in your grade. So be smart, and if you're not sure what you want to concentrate on, like if you're not really sure the best way to spend your time, ask and I will help you figure that out. But just don't put a bunch of time and energy into things that are not going to make much difference in your grade. If you're in a situation where you're trying to bring your grade up to the next grade, you want to concentrate on the things that count the most. And then if you have time, go back and do the ones that count less. Those do make a difference, but not nearly as much as the essays do. So put your energy primarily into the essays, and then take the things we've talked about with sort of the revision process. You concentrate on content first, then pay attention to organizing and keeping it focused, and then worry about proofreading last. You can go through that organization and proofreading stage without me telling you explicitly to do it. I'm going to tell everybody to do that with every essay. So you can go ahead and do that on your own. You don't have to wait to be told. That's just, probably adding just a little bit more boost by taking the time to go through that process, even if I haven't gotten you to that point and explicitly said, work on your transitions or work on your commas or whatever it is. You can do that anyway. So use your time wisely. If you're already really happy with your grade in this class and you need to spend this week worrying about other classes, feel free to do that. That is okay. I'm not going to be upset with you if you're more worried about math or history or something. You're the one who knows the best way to spend your time, and I'm trusting you to make a good choice about it. But if you don't do anything this week, and then your grade ends up being the exact same thing Blackboard tells you that it is right now, don't be surprised, okay? But, you know, make good choices, and then if you're needing to ask me how to spend your time and what the best choice is, you know, send me an email and we'll figure out the best ways for you to spend your time, whether it's this class or worrying about another class. Just anything you're not sure about, let me know.